If you love Jesus, why do you break his commandments? Warning: many claim to love Jesus, yet they break his commandments. Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." John 14:15. So why do millions of Christians ignore one of God's most important laws? The truth will shock you. Welcome to today's challenging biblical truth. If you love Jesus, why do you break his commandments? For centuries, many believers have said, we are saved by grace, so we don't need to keep the law. But is that what Jesus actually taught? In this video, we'll uncover why obedience to God's law still matters. The one commandment most Christians break without realizing it. Why loving Jesus means keeping all of his commandments. Skeptics and non-believers, I challenge you to disprove these biblical facts. The challenge begins. 1. Jesus commands us to keep his law. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Matthew chapter 5:17-19. Jesus did not come to destroy the law. 1 John chapter 2:4. He who says, I know him, and does not keep his commandments, is a liar. Fact: true love for Jesus means obedience, not just belief. Challenge to skeptics. If we no longer need to keep the commandments, why did Jesus tell us to? 2. The one commandment most Christians ignore. Exodus 20:8-11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Genesis 2:2-3. God sanctified the seventh day, not the first. Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Fact: the Sabbath is the only commandment where God says, remember, yet most have forgotten. Challenge to skeptics. Find one verse where God changed the Sabbath to Sunday. 3. Jesus and his disciples kept the Sabbath. Luke 4:16. Jesus kept the Sabbath as his custom was. Matthew 24:20. Jesus prophesied that his followers would still be keeping the Sabbath in the last days. Acts 17:2. Paul, even after Jesus' resurrection, continued worshipping on the Sabbath. Fact: if Sunday replaced the Sabbath, why didn't Jesus or his disciples say so? Challenge to skeptics. If Jesus and his disciples kept the Sabbath, why do modern churches worship on Sunday? 4. The Catholic Church admits it changed the Sabbath. Catholic Record, September 1, 1923. Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible. Convert's Catechism of Catholic Doctrine. We observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church transferred the solemnity. The Catholic Mirror, 1893. The Catholic Church, by virtue of her divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. Fact: the Catholic Church openly admits it changed the Sabbath, not God. Challenge to skeptics. If the Catholic Church changed the Sabbath, why are Protestants obeying it instead of the Bible? 5. The Bible warns about breaking God's law. James 2:10. For whoever shall keep the whole law and yet stumble in one point, he is guilty of all. Mark 7:7-9. In vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Revelation 14:12. God's true followers keep his commandments and the faith of Jesus. Fact: loving Jesus means keeping all of his commandments, including the Sabbath. Challenge to skeptics. If we can break one commandment, why not break them all? Call to action. If you love Jesus, why do you break his commandments? Will you follow God's truth or man's tradition? The Bible is clear. God never changed the Sabbath. Millions are being deceived. Will you wake up before it's too late? Challenge. Can you find one verse proving Sunday worship? Comment below, like, share, and subscribe to spread the truth.